Alright guys, I'm going to talk about heaters. And I'm also going to talk about maintenance. And the reason I'm going to talk about heaters and maintenance is because when you're doing maintenance and you're not paying attention and you don't know if your heater's on or not, you can get in a world of hurt. So what I've done with this tank, I actually ran an extension cord right here. And if I unplug that extension cord, matter of fact, I'll do it for you right now. Here, I'll show you this. Keep it on the tank, and I'll lean over here. But when I do maintenance on this tank, I've got one cord over here I unplug, and it does two things. It cuts off the canister filter, and guess what else is on that circuit? My heater. And the reason being is because usually whenever I'm doing water changes, you know, and siphoning and whatever, I'm going to be lowering the water line, and this heater is not submerged. And that's the danger with that kind of heater. I much prefer a submerged heater. As a matter of fact, one thing I really wanted to do with this tank, I've been too cheap, haven't had enough time. But what I've really wanted to do is, if you can see in here, well, I'll get a flashlight for you. If you look in here, see these hoses? And it's kind of a challenge because they're ribbed. But what I really wanted to do for the heater on this tank, there is a company called Hydor, and they have a really nice, let's see if I can find it. Yep. Find it for you guys really quick. So if you recognize this magazine, great way to get your ferrets, by the way. But in matter of fact, there's the heater I'm going to show you next on the 120. But they have a heater. Here, I'll just show you the fish tank while I rant. You can watch the fish. But they have a heater, excuse me, called a Hydor. And the beauty of that heater is that it's actually made for canister filters. And what it does is it just hooks into the tubing. The challenge is you know, some of the canister filters, I think you need to do smooth tubing. Where'd it go? To do smooth tubing. Here it is. Found it. Whoops. So this is what it looks like. You can see it right there. And so what you do is you inline it into your plumbing on your outtake nozzle. So in other words, the water that's pumping into the tank, you put it on that, coming out of your canister and going into your tank. And it's hollow, and the heater is there, and it has a clip to hang it, which is what that is right there. The other nice thing is it has a dial on it. You just set it, and there's an idea what the prices are. But it claims not to get hot spots or cold spots because you got constant water flow there, and it just catches it in a high circulation flow rate. But I think that's an awesome heater. I've seen people use these on planted tanks. So then you just look in something like this, and you see no heater. You see nothing in the tank because it's on the exchange, the water flow rate on your canister. Want to play with one of those? Haven't had time yet, but a Hydor, it seems like a high quality filter and a really good way to go. So I would recommend it, you know, to look into that. But anyway, what I've got here in the 120, I got a complete submersible. I run them horizontal. I just think that's the best way to run it because you get the heat exchange. The other thing that I did is I ran it so that the heat comes up through here, and it's as far away from where the water's being pushed out. I was thinking that the intake or the return to the canister right here might suck in some of the warm water and then this was the outtake. And right there, if you look, that is the sensor. So I put the sensor for this thing on the complete far end. Let's see if I can find it. It's like right, anyway, it's right in there, but whatever. This true temp heater is kind of a pain to originally set up, and if you're the manufacturer of this heater, the thing, I like the digital readout. The thing that I don't like is it bounces within a degree, and by that I mean, here, let me just show you. If I hold this down, alright, so see, I've got it set for 82.5, which means when it hits below 82.5, it kicks on, and then it stops a full degree at 83.5. So let me do this. Let me show you what I mean. Alright, so I just turned it to 82.6, up 1/10 of a degree. I got to do one more because it's got to fall below what you ask, and then it kicks on. Alright, so it's on 82.6. Well, I say that. It's got to be a whole degree away, so I need to make it at 83.6, I believe. Actually 83.7. 83.6. So it's got to be a whole degree, and then it kicks on, and then it won't stop until it gets a degree above what I set it. So if I hold this button down, you see I've got it set for 83.6. So it won't stop until it gets to 84.6. Anyway, and so and my guess is because this is a 400 watt heater and they want to give themselves room to swing because this is a heater for a large tank. The thing I do not like about this, let me get a light on it for you. Whoops, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to bounce the camera. But the thing I do not like about this heater, see if I just can't hold this light on here. Here's what I don't like about this heater. See this module? I love the fact that it's a module. This is power. This is the power cable to the heater. This is the line to the sensor. Here's what's crazy. These heaters, if you're going this kind of heater, you got a large tank, right? 100 gallon or more. Because that's when you've got to get the bigger heater, right? And you can't find a 400 watt heater. Well, anyway, you either do this, you go a big one like this, or you go a bunch of small ones. To me, it's just easier to just have one nice high-end heater. But here's the thing with this. It just drives me nuts. Look at this. See this module? See that little clip? You can hardly put that on your belt buckle. Much less, half-inch glass for a 120. So I actually had to put a coffee cup up here. Anyway, I'm sure you guys, here you go. Like this. Little Norman Rockwell. Sailor looking at the sea. Whatever. But I clip it here. And get it back on there. So it kind of sits up. So then I can see it on the back of my hood for the canopy. Yeah, I need to clean this. I got too much dust up here. But that's the only way I can see it. That little red dot right there tells me it's on. Now, watch how much heat this baby puts out. Watch this. I think this thing is hot. Let me show you the mirage. Let's see, right. Sorry, I need to clean my... clean my glass. See if I can show you right in here. Yeah, see the mirage on the plants? Look at that. You can see the heat wave in the back there where see the heat coming off that? Look at the swords near the back and you can just see it. And the funny thing I've noticed when this thing kicks on, my X-ray tetras like to come over and hang out and play in it, which is kind of funny. But anyway, that's kind of it on heaters. One thing to remember, if you have a heater that looks like this guy, my light's already gone out here. If you have a heater that looks like that, make sure you put it on the same circuit as whatever you're turning off when you do maintenance. Otherwise you will forget to turn that off. It will get hot, you'll pour water out, it'll get cold, it'll kick on, you'll pour water in. If you're not careful, you will crack that and have a bad day. But anyway, that's it in a nutshell on heaters. I don't think there's, an advantage of one heater over another for planted tanks. I do love this for a large tank. You can see it's still at 82.6, even though it's generating a lot of heat, because my temperature sensor is on the far side. So I just think it does a nice job of letting you see the overall. Anyway, some of them, you want to try to have your temperature sensor away from where your heat's coming out, so that way you kind of get an idea of you're not monitoring a hot spot or a cold spot. You're trying to find a high flow rate, which is why I put it under that nozzle. Excuse me. Final comment on this heater, or any heater that you get. If you have a large tank and you have a temperature sensor, it makes it so much easier to do water changes. Because I've got a sensor over here, and this is where I always put my Aqueon nozzle when I'm putting water into this tank. Sorry guys, didn't mean to tap the glass, but I put my nozzle here right on that sensor and just pour it on that back glass, and then I just watch this because the water's instantly hitting that, and then I know, and I need to go ahead and turn this off, but then I know what my temperature is coming into the tank, and then the beauty is I can dial it in and get it to what I want coming off the tap for the faucet. Excuse me. And then when I get done, I just turn my canister filter on, and then it evenly mixes it all up and gets rid of cold spots and whatever. But just a nice option. Anyway, appreciate you guys watching. Hopefully this was helpful about heaters, and hopefully these two videos weren't too long. I just wrapped up a previous one about lights. I got one more video I'm going to do about the liquid ferts I use, and then I'm done. So you guys let me know what else you want to see. The next thing in the queue is also a species video on the Beckford pencilfish. But hey, you guys be good. Thanks for watching. See you guys later. Have a good one.